Well, good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. I am excited about today's episode for those of you who especially live here inside the Philippines, but this is also something that's applicable to any of you who live around the world, and it has to do with dealing with brownouts or blackouts. At that moment when you lose electricity from your local utility company and you need some type of emergency backup. Now today we are going to address those problems associated with those brownouts and blackouts inside your community, and a big update that we're doing here at Villa Feliz. So if this interests you, I hope you'll stay with us in today's episode. So without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Well, welcome to our basement. This is our workshop. This is our multifunction area. And this is where the main portion of today's episode is going to take place. And it has to do with a battery backup solution. If you remember, several weeks ago, we discussed a new product on the market called the EcoFlow Delta Pro. And the EcoFlow Delta Pro is a battery backup solution in the event that you have a brownout or a blackout inside your house. We did some minor testing with it. We just connected up a couple of things like some fans and some other devices inside our house here so that we could show you the general idea or the concept about what you can do with a battery backup solution. But the main thing we want the battery backup solution for is during a brownout so that we can isolate it to key critical components inside our house. Things like our refrigerator, our freezer, our internet, fans, and lighting, so that in the event that we have a brownout here, that we have some type of a backup solution without having to suffer the inconvenience of that event. So today what we're going to talk about is what I have just done to integrate the EcoFlow Delta Pro into our backup solution. Now let's briefly go into our generator room that used to house our huge, massive diesel generator. Let's go ahead and take a look at where we set up the EcoFlow Delta Pro. We've already seen this in a previous episode. For those who are here for the first time, you'll kind of see how we have our setup here. And it's going to be what we need to be able to put battery backup supply into our house here at Villa Feliz. Now back in our generator room is where we used to have a diesel generator here. It was a huge device. It took up about 6 of the EcoFlow Delta Pro units right here, or more, even more. It was a big unit. It took up most of this pad that we have inside here. And we also had to have some way of getting the exhaust out, so we had an exhaust pipe extension that went out of this room. But we've replaced that since the diesel generator actually failed on us, and I might have some pictures of the big hole that's inside the generator, so you can see one of the main reasons why we got rid of it. Well, anyway, this is going to be the replacement, and this is what we're going to be testing today. We've already done some preliminary testings on this, but this is and that was in a previous episode, but this is the EcoFlow Delta Pro. This provides 3.6 kilowatts of power to your home or appliances or devices should you want to go like on a camping trip, but can also do some backup inside your home. To turn this on, you just push the button right here. It will power on, and I just charged this, so you see we are at 100% charging capacity, and it says at 100% with no load. It's showing 10 days of battery backup. Well, that doesn't really mean anything because there's no load on it right now. Then we have a cable, a plug that goes here. These are 4 16 amp connectors right here that go into the wall over there, and that wall actually goes to the next device that we're going to talk about out inside the main section of our garage basement area. Now, I've been following some bulletin boards, some EcoFlow bulletin boards, and people are concerned if they are going from a diesel generator over to the EcoFlow Delta Pro as a backup solution. Now let's go over to our automatic transfer switch, our ATS from our old generator. And that's what you see inside the wall right now. and you can see the light that is on right here. It says HouseNet, and what that means is we are receiving power from the local utility company, and that's what we're on right now. In the event that the local utilities should go down, what they call a brownout here, what they call a blackout in some places around the world, the concept is your generator that you would have a diesel generator or whatever type of a gas generator, some type of backup solution would take over where your HouseNet or where your local utility company failed. And then you would have power inside your house. But this unit right here is for our old diesel generator, and it has a lot more things involved with this than just switching over from one connection to the next, which presented us with a dilemma here at Villa Feliz. We weren't able to initially integrate the EcoFlow Delta Pro because of this box right here. So what were the options that we had? Well, the options that we had were either to totally remove this unit right here. Basically, since it's embedded inside the wall, it would have been a very evasive project, breaking up the concrete, removing this item right here, and then replacing it with some other type of an automatic transfer switch. Or what I decided to do is to examine the components that were inside here, see if I could use this existing housing and integrate some of the electronics in this with a new automatic transfer switch. Let's talk about that a little bit more. Now, if you are someone like me who had an existing automatic transfer switch for a diesel generator or a gas generator, and you're trying to find some way to be able to integrate the new type of battery backup solutions like we have here without getting rid of your old system, this is what we're going to briefly talk about right now. So if you just want to see how this works, how the Delta Pro works with our house, you might want to skip a little forward. But if you're interested in knowing how to convert your existing ATS for a diesel or a gas generator, you might want to hang around for just a few more minutes. Well, inside this unit right here used to be these devices, and these are the smart devices that actually controlled everything between your generator, your diesel generator, and your home electrical panel assembly right here. This was the key components of your automatic transfer switch. And what this is, it's basically a relay. A relay is either going to say the utility company or your generator, and that's what was hooked up with this unit right here. Now this is the CJX 2508. The CJX 2 series are relays that are used in manufacturing plants and in home automatic transfer switch boxes right here. This one is actually only rated at about 25 amps. And this is the key that makes the difference between a very simple relay switch inside your house, just switching from one to the other, and allowing a diesel generator, and this is for a diesel generator. It says this is the diesel module right here, if you can see closely. They make one for a diesel and a gasoline module, and this is a logic board. And this logic board right here connects to some pins that go over to your control panel. Let's kind of look. I still have the control panel. I don't have the diesel generator anymore, but I have the control panel because I'm going to use this for another project. And this is the control panel right here. And this little connector right here, all these wires, there are 6 pins right here for this specific model. That is what tells this module back here that the generator is performing. It's on, the flywheel has a stable frequency, the oil pressure is good, you're not close to being out of fuel, and make sure that this relay is in the generator position so that you have electricity to your house. Anything fails inside here, as far as what it's expecting, it will switch this off so you don't do any damage to your home circuits. So these are the core components of the old automatic transfer switch based on a diesel generator. And they go inside this box right here. Well, we don't have a diesel generator anymore. They will never see the signals that would come inside this diesel module right here. So it would never allow this to switch. And that is the problem that people are writing, I see, on bulletin boards on the EcoFlow bulletin board sites out there. People are saying, can I use my old ATS? And some people are saying, yes, you can, but not if it has these sensors inside here, unless you can trick this module right here with some type of a signal to be able to trick it that's saying everything is good and the relay will work. Now again, that's a little bit more than I really want to discuss today. So to be able to get this to work right here, let's go on the inside of the old ATS box and see what's going on in here. Well, this unit is not in here anymore. It's gone. I removed this unit and I installed a TOMZN, a Tomzin automatic transfer switch right here. This automatic transfer switch here does basically a lot of the things that this relay does right here without the expectation of signals that are coming from a diesel generator. And it's a very simple process. It's a very simple installation and wiring. You have on the top, you have the wires that come in from your utility company. You have these two connectors right here that come in from your generator, your battery backup generator. And behind these two posts right here are the output, which is the load that goes to your circuit breaker panel assembly to the other side. So basically what this does, it says if you have electricity from the utility company, which is this red light that's lit up here, it will allow your utility company to go inside your house and provide lights and what you need inside your house. If you lose the electricity and this were happen to be into the automatic position, it will automatically switch. It's a relay on the inside and it will switch over to your generator, your battery backup generator. It's as simple as that. Now, my dilemma was at the very beginning is you don't see, since this is embedded in the old ATS box right here, how am I going to see, or how is this light coming on so that I know I'm either on the house net or I'm on the generator? Well, there are some connectors on the side that are required to be connected up. This says AR, AN, and C, C, and NO. And there's one on both sides. This top section is for the utility company. This bottom section here is for the generator. And the AR and the AN are the points that you need to be concerned with. AR is your positive side, the energy that's coming in from your electric company. And then you have a neutral. All houses have a line side and a neutral side. So you just take a sensor wire on the AR and you bring it over to the line that comes in on your house. That's that little blue wire inside there. And then the neutral side that goes to the neutral from your house. Same thing on the bottom for the B side. B line and B neutral, and you connect them to these two. And what that does, that provides an indicator light that shows you have power on whichever side that you have, utility or your generator, A or B. But the dilemma was, how is it getting to my old ATS up here? So that was very simple also. You just follow the wires that come off of your old generator lights inside, because it's going to be a line and a neutral. That's how a light bulb works. You have a line that goes in on one side and a neutral that comes up. It completes the connection. So these two wires are connected. There's two black wires on the top here, and we have a couple of wires down here on the bottom. They actually go to these two connectors right here. The house net, which is the utility company, and the generator. As simple as that. So that's basically how this system works. Now, if I put this into auto right now, if I were to go to auto, if we lost electricity from the utility company, the inside of this would automatically switch over to the generator. But we don't want to do that right now, and I'll explain a little bit about that at this point. Now you're going to be part of our test here today. This hasn't been done yet. We're going to take the one unit, the EcoFlow Delta Pro, connected through the wall to our ATS over here, and then we are going to simulate a brownout. Now, so that we don't overload the EcoFlow Delta Pro, what we're going to do is we are going to shut off all of the circuit breakers except for the emergency requirements inside our house. And that's going to be all of our refrigerators. That is going to be our deep freezer. That's going to be some receptacles for fan, and it's going to be for our internet. These are the things that we would need and lights, of course. And these are things we would need in a extended brownout here in the Philippines. What we're going to do, we're going to shut off those breakers. We're going to let it switch over from the utility company to the generator by just turning off the power from our local utility company. We're going to see how long will one unit rated at 3.6 kilowatts, how long will that run those appliances that I just briefly described. Let's go ahead and try that out. Now I have a little book here where I've mapped out all of our circuits throughout our entire house. What circuit breaker every service outlet is on, every light, every component that requires electricity. And I'm going to only put on the critical, circuit breakers to the things that I've identified are critical here in the house. All the other ones will be turned off. Now the first part of our test, we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn on the battery backup. So we should see both the house net and the generator after we turn on the battery backup, the EcoFlow Delta Pro. So let's go ahead and activate it, turn it on, and come back and take a look at the automatic transfer switch. So we'll turn on the power here. With the power turned on, this is the output. You turn on the output. All right, so there is our output. So we should see a green light here. And we do. We see that the generator is actually turned on, although we're still on the house net, because by default the house net would be what you see. And you also see on the inside the ATS. The ATS is showing that the green light is on there. Source A, which is the utility company, source B would be the generator. Once the local utility company goes off here, which is this right here, and we will trip this breaker in just a moment. So now what we want to do, I'm going to go inside the circuit breaker panel assembly here. I'm going to turn off unneeded things that we would not need during a brownout. So although this isn't ideal when you're thinking, oh, this is not really automatic, but because of the limitation using the EcoFlow Delta Pro, it's a good solution to be able to restore enough during an extended outage, which is what we're hoping to find out today. How many hours can we do things like run our freezer, refrigerator, the critical components here at the house? So we have that. I'm going to go inside here. I'm going to flip off all the switches based upon my requirement here, and then we'll go ahead and turn off the breaker that goes to our utility company, and we'll go on battery backup, and we'll monitor how long we can sustain with the one EcoFlow Delta Pro. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go inside here and I'm going to put the ATS over into automatic. Now we're in the automatic position, and I'm going to shut off the utility company from coming in here. The anticipated thing should be this would switch over from source A to source B, the utility company, over to the battery backup generator, and only those circuit breakers I left on inside here should provide power. That's all of our emergency areas that we've identified so far. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to come here and turn off the breaker, and let's see what happens. And you can see it tripped. We have no more power from the utility company, and all of our lights and everything are still on. Now that is our, now I don't want to use these lights inside here right now, so I'm going to turn, because we have lots of lights in the basement. So now you can see in here, we are providing on an emergency basis 383, 382, 360, 70. This is what our output for only those emergency items. So under 400 watts are what we're using to keep our entire house running. So we're going to watch this. It says 7 hours just on this unit right here. We'll keep an eye on this, and it will change depending on the compressor on each one of the units. So I'm going to go around the house, make sure that the refrigerator's on, everything is on, the critical components. Let's go ahead and walk through the house. I just want to show you all of the devices that we have on the system right now. We have our clock, and it didn't even trip when we went from the utility company to our generator. It didn't even trip the clock. That's how good the transfer and quick and speedy the transfer switch over. So I'm imagining it's less than 20 milliseconds, because usually around 20 milliseconds is when you'll have a problem. All right, we have power to our Tiki bar. You can see I'm doing editing right now of today's episode. We have power to our weather station. We have our CCTV down here. Our refrigerator. You can see it is on. The light is on. Our freezer is on. Our AVR is on. Let's go upstairs and look at some of the items that are on. Oh, also, we have internet down here inside the basement. We have our, you can see the lights maybe. You can see the lights on our access point right here. We have, if we wanted to use the TV, we could actually watch TV here connected to our internet connection. Let's go upstairs. All of our CCTV is connected to the internet. You can see our refrigerator here. This is a 28 cubic meter refrigerator. Our TV, you can see the little red light on there if we wanted to turn it on. If I could find a remote control around here. Too many remote controls around here. Turn the TV on. You can see the TV actually works. And it will be connected to the internet as well. Turn that off. Our fan, if we need a fan up here, we can turn the fan on. This is all on battery, Our microwave, if we need to use the microwave. And our Alexa device. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 10:16 a.m.
And she wouldn't be able to say that if she wasn't connected to the internet. On our emergency circuit, I went ahead and assigned the pavilion out here. The pavilion is also, so you can see the lights on the microwave. If I wanted to turn on the fans, you'll see that the fan is actually on here. It's turned on. If I wanted to watch TV out here, which is connected to the internet, we could watch television out here. So we have all functionality in here if we need lights at nighttime. And these are all low voltage LED. These are part of a DC power supply. We could sit out here all night in the brownout. We could even use the swimming pool, but I'm a little hesitant upon putting, I gotta look at what the rated wattage, how much power does the pump consume on the swimming pool. Because remember, we cannot go over 3,600 watts or a maximum of I think it's 4,500 with regard to any single device. So I'm gonna start editing some of today's video, and then we'll just monitor it and we'll see how many hours we can get with all these devices on, even Tiki bar lights. Now I've been editing for about 1 hour over here, doing some research on the internet. Let's go take a look at the EcoFlow Delta Pro, and with 1 hour of usage supplying power to the entire house that have those critical components. And you can see we are down to 85%. So it used 15% of the battery in 1 hour's time. And we still have, according to this, 6 hours left at the current usage of about 340 watts. Now I couldn't ask for better timing for this. I don't know if you hear in the background. Here, we'll walk out here. But you can hear at our neighbor's build across the street. That's the generator, and we just called up our security here, and we've just found out that the entire Lipa City is in a brownout right now. So you can see we have the electricity. I couldn't have asked for a better time to test this out, but no interruption, right?
Yeah, I didn't even notice.
Oh, this is awesome. Okay, well, it's not awesome that we have a brownout, but the test is the perfect time for this. So we're continuing. I still think we got several hours. Did the guard say how long
No,
they anticipate? Didn't say.
But it's all Lipa.
Okay, so this is what you can anticipate in the Philippines. As you can see, we're almost at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's 3 hours. We're 3 hours on our battery backup. Let's go ahead and take another look and see after 3 hours what our battery percentage is. And we are down to 60% now. So we have 60% and still 4 hours left. All right, here it is, almost a quarter after 3. That's over 5 hours. That's about 5 hours and about 15 minutes. Let's see what our level is now. All right, well, according to this, it still says we have 2 hours. We're at 26%, and we're still running around 350 watts of power output right now to the devices in the house. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and close out this video. We proved our point. We're about to, it's almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. We've been on batteries that ran everything inside the house that we need to run, which is mostly everything for the last 6 hours. So what I'm going to do, let's do one quick check and see what the level is, what we have left over after 6 hours. And we're down to 17%. And it says about 1 hour. It has about 1 hour worth of life left inside there. So what we're going to do is we are going to simulate. The electricity is actually back on. I checked across the street. They have electricity. We're going to come over here, and we know that the ATS is in automatic over here. So I'm going to come over here to the air breaker from our utility company, and I'm going to turn the power back on to the house. Since it's an automatic, what it's supposed to do and what we anticipate it to do is to switch back over to the utility company because it's in automatic mode. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll go over here, we'll go over to our air breaker, and we will turn it back on, and hopefully we will switch over to the utility company. And it did. You see we have the power. It indicates we have power out here. It shows inside here that we are over to. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to put it into manual because I don't want it to change once I have all the breakers and everything inside the house working. We might have some high current things like the stove or something that's pulling a lot of power. We don't want it to automatically transfer later. So we'll keep it in the manual mode. We proved our point. I can hear over in the generator room. Well, let me go ahead and turn all the breakers on. Hold on. Now, this light, we'll be able to use this light in the generator room now. And you can see, I haven't touched this yet, but when it switched over, you can see that it's not using anything here. It's showing we have 0 watts of output going out right now. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and plug this into the wall. And when I plug it into the wall, it will start charging this back up. As simple as plugging it into the wall. And we should see it start charging here, and we want to bring it back up to 100% for the next potential outage that we would have. So you can see I've got it set on the lower setting, which is 400 watts. That's the input coming in. And it will take about 7 or 8 hours to charge. And if I put it on the back like I showed in the original video, it will only take 1.9 hours. I think it's charging, oh my goodness, probably 2, 3, 4,000 watts or something like that is what it will be charging at. We'll do a slow charge. So that's good to go. We're going to let that charge back up. It did a great job today. I can actually turn the output out. We don't need the output of that anymore. And we proved our point. Well, that's about it for today's episode. The key point is that the EcoFlow Delta Pro is a great companion backup system during something like a brownout or a blackout. Now we have the simplest setup right now. We only have 1 unit. You can put up to 2 optional battery packs that connect to that, which allow you to go from 3.6 kilowatt hours. If you add 1 additional battery pack, it gives you 7.2 kilowatt hours. And if you add 1 more on top of that, but this will give you 2 battery packs, you'll go to 10.8 kilowatt hours. Now you're still restricted to 3.6 kilowatts of the output that you're putting outside of your device. So it will keep all those things like the items that we had today, the appliances that we had today going longer if you have additional batteries. So today we had 6 hours. We still had another 1 hour left on it. If you multiply that times 3, that's 21 hours. We could have 21 hours of an outage, and that's if we didn't have any solar panel connect up from the outside. And that gives you a bunch more opportunities to be able to extend your period of time if you have an outage. And we'll probably talk about that in another episode, but just remember, if you connect a solar array to that, you can be charging it and using the power from your solar array through that battery pack during an extended blackout or brownout. Isn't that a great idea? We'll be doing that later on once we can afford to add some more items to this package and complement the small packages that we have. Again, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, please share, and if you have not subscribed, just click on that little MPID Dream heart and the bottom right hand side of your screen, you'll be subscribed and notified if you ring that bell the next time I upload a new video. So until such time for right here in the beautiful, but sometimes brownout Philippines, you have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.